G'day there, once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, come to you guys with some more Planetside 2 content. So folks, today we are going to be revisiting the AF-4 Cyclone Generation 1 submachine gun available to the new conglomerate. Now this was actually the first weapon that I ever reviewed for Planetside 2, and with the third birthday of the channel just around the corner, I figured we would take a quick trip down memory lane and re-review my favourite SMG in the game, and one of my favourite weapons in the game, hands down. In today's review, we will cover the statistics of the Cyclone and how they build the weapon into the profile it is known for, cover the attachment options available to the weapon, and how you can best improve the weapon through some extra investments, all the while taking a look at some of the weapon's specific strategy to better yourself whilst using this weapon. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The Cyclone is going to run you a cost of 1000 certs to unlock for a single character, or 699 Daybreak coins to unlock for all of your current and future new conglomerate characters you create on your account. Now this is one of those weapons that I would actually recommend purchasing with your certs, as you do access this weapon for all of your classes when you purchase it bar the max suit, so the value of purchasing it via certs is a lot higher in comparison to other weapon purchases that you can make through certs. Just something to think about if you don't plan on using this weapon across multiple characters. The weapon has an impressive maximum damage profile of 167 at 6 meters and drops off to a minimum damage of only 100 at the 46 meter mark. Now that is a huge amount of damage drop off, resulting in a whopping 4 tiers of damage drop off. Now this in turn translates to the requirement to land 6 shots within the 6 meter mark to score a kill, 7 shots to kill between the 6 meter and 20.6 meter range, 8 shots to kill within the 20.6 and 31.4 meter range, 9 shots to kill within the 31.4 and 39.6 meter range, and 10 shots to kill beyond that 39.6 meter range. Now that was a mouthful to say the least. Now when we take all of this into consideration with the rate of fire of 652 rounds per minute, or 10.86 rounds per second, we can come to the highly theoretical time to kill of 0.47 seconds at the 6 meter range, 0.56 seconds at the 20.6 meter range, 0.65 seconds at the 31.4 meter range, 0.74 seconds at the 39.6 meter range, and 0.83 seconds at the 46 meter range. Now these time to kill stats are once again highly theoretical, as they go off the basis that all rounds hit the chest area without a break in fire, with instantaneous travel time and no damage multipliers coming into play for the engagement. Now, when it comes to the recoil pattern of this weapon, you can expect to see a moderate vertical kick per shot, with some extensive yet somewhat random horizontal deviation in the pattern. As far as the exact numbers of the recoil are concerned, you are going to be looking at a 0.24 degree vertical recoil per shot and a horizontal deviation of 0.212 degrees minimum and 0.304 degrees maximum. And when the first shot multiplier of 2.25 times comes into play, we are looking at a vertical recoil of 0.54 degrees every time you initiate a burst with the weapon. The weapon also has a predetermined recoil angle of 0 degrees, which means that the weapon has no left or right bias, so expect a very shaky profile from this weapon's recoil pattern. The horizontal tolerance of this weapon is 0.7, and there's quite a bit of a grey area when it comes to this statistic, but from what I can tell, the horizontal tolerance is essentially the statistic that determines whether or not the horizontal recoil is capable of sticking to a certain direction for a certain period of time. To explain, the horizontal tolerance of the Cyclone means that it could be capable, but not certain, to develop a biased left or right with the horizontal recoil during a burst, but has the possibility to erratically change the direction at any given point in time. As for the remainder of the stats, we are looking at a 1.855 second short reload time and a 3 seconds flat long reload time for when you dump the entire magazine. And speaking of the magazine, it comes with a mag size of 25 rounds with a corresponding ammo pool of 175 rounds in the reserves. Wrapping the weapon up is at 0.75 times aiming down sight movement multiplier speed and 360 meters per second muzzle velocity. Now, if you are after a TLDR explanation of this weapon, it essentially adds up to being the new conglomerate's answer for a close quarters hit and run style of submachine gun that aims to down a singular target quickly before getting the hell out of dodge to reload. Its tiny magazine size, along with the hefty long reload time, does a hell of a job at punishing players that overextend themselves with this weapon by engaging multiple targets, or by engaging targets over an extended range. So in short, this weapon punishes the sustainable kind of player that aims to engage targets over a long period of time at the cost of less damage per round. Sticking to 2 targets per magazine would be the absolute maximum with this weapon, as you are very likely to run into the long reload time if you go after a 3rd target. This is actually one of those weapons where I would recommend backing off after every kill to get into a safe place for a reload if you can afford it. And instead of going for a 2nd kill in the 1 magazine, while you are looking for a safe place to reload, you have enough rounds to effectively deal with a potential threat that may end up surprising you. This just ensures that you are making the most of the short reload time, all the while putting yourself at the lowest possible risk when it comes to running out of ammo at the worst possible time. To further build on the Cyclone's personality, it does reward smart play and players who can alienate targets one at a time, as in a 1v1 situation, this weapon works an absolute dream, and is clearly where this weapon was designed to be used effectively. The damage per round on this weapon is actually top of the class in regards to SMGs, and even though it has the slowest rate of fire of all SMGs, it comes in at 2nd place in the SMG arsenal across the game for DPS within its maximum damage range of 6 meters, falling just short of the armistice. But despite the already formidable close quarters damage per second, this weapon is once again a guerrilla warfare kind of gun, get in and get out fast, so going for those crucial headshots is going to allow for you to shorten the time to kill even further, and subsequently make your movements on the battlefield a whole lot more fluid and make you a more effective soldier with this weapon. However, despite the weapon's impressive DPS in close quarters combat, it also comes with the lowest DPS out at extended ranges amongst the SMG arsenal, which just goes to emphasize once again how this weapon is truly designed for close quarters combat. With that in mind, I would only recommend using this gun on classes in which you can quickly close the gap with, so the Infiltrator and Light Assault are the best possible choices in this regard. As on other classes, the other weapons are a little bit more versatile, which complements their roles more effectively. Now, despite this weapon's CQC effectiveness, this is no spray and pray weapon. To apply the damage, you have to make your rounds connect, and the slower end rate of fire makes missing with this weapon a whole lot more costly in comparison to other SMGs that you may have used in the past. So with that in mind, be sure to play with accuracy in mind. Something else that I feel as though is an important part to wrangling success with this weapon is knowing your surroundings and having general knowledge of the base you're fighting in. The guerrilla warfare style of gameplay that you will be employing with this weapon is very fast paced and often requires quick thinking as to how you're going to move away from a sticky situation or a kill that you have managed to secure. And to help with that, knowing the layout of bases and the potential hiding/safe spots is valuable information that will make things a whole lot smoother for you in your experiences with the weapon. The knowledge of base layouts often comes with time as you play the game, but spending some time studying the layout of facilities and common bases such as watchtowers can be fairly beneficial to you. So we now know how the weapon behaves on its own, but what happens if we begin to play around with the attachment options? The Cyclone has access to 1x through to 4x optics, including both the 2x reflex and 1x IRNV optics, the advanced laser sight, the forward grip, the extended magazine, the flashlight, both the flash and standard suppressor, the compensator, and the soft point ammunition. Now, I think it is best that we start off with the most important upgrade of all with this weapon, being the extended magazines. The extended magazines on the Cyclone granted an extra 10 rounds, which gives it just that little bit more breathing room and capability to realistically engage 2 targets before needing to fall back and reload, with enough ammo for you to engage an unexpected foe. And whilst the laser sight and the forward grip both provide nice benefits, none match the worth of the extended magazines in this case. Soft point ammunition is a must for me on this weapon as it helps to improve the range in which the maximum damage applies to beyond the default and rather lackluster 6 meters. In regards to the barrel attachment of this weapon, the standard suppressor is a great option as it allows for you to improve your survivability by getting a little bit quieter on the battlefield at the cost of 20% of your muzzle velocity, bringing it down to 288 meters per second on the Cyclone, which shouldn't be too noticeable thanks to the CQC agenda of the weapon, and if you're engaging at range with this gun, you might as well pick up a different option. And as for your optics, it all comes down to personal preference, but I recommend nothing beyond the 1x optic to help build on the weapon's target range being close quarters engagements. So, as a result, if you are an infiltrator or light assault who enjoys fast-paced guerrilla warfare style of gameplay, getting in fast and getting out even faster, then this is definitely going to be the weapon for you. Its king DPS at close quarters allows for it to down targets in record times, and if you manage your ammo correctly, you'll be able to reload and get straight back into the action as fast as you can with minimal downtime. This is definitely a weapon that gets my thumbs up for people who are looking for a CQC option that relies heavily on damage output over sustainability and rate of fire. And guys, with all that said, that's going to wrap up today's weapon review on the Cyclone. As you guys probably noticed, there's quite a couple of changes in regards to the design of these weapon reviews. I've changed a lot of my graphics around. Please do feel free to leave some comments in the comment section down below with some feedback. It would be greatly appreciated. If you went on to enjoy today's video, then a backhanding of that like button would be appreciated. And say you're new to the channel and you find yourself backhanding that like button, why don't you go around and backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it? Please do also feel free to leave your thoughts on the Cyclone down below. I really would like to hear what you guys have to say about this weapon. And once again folks, hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you folks next time. Have a good one.